Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 17 of our commentary for Metroid Prime. In the last episode, we defeated the Omega Pirate, but we got smushed.
And it's blueberries.
Not the jelly.
So, say farewell to our... Oh, no. She hung in there.
Yeah, she was just
And
like, it
we
was
got
all
the
according to plan.
Yes. And we got the final suit upgrade in the game, the Phazon Suit, which allows us to go into Phazon.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. But it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, like, slight spoilers for the upcoming episodes, and we might experience it in this one. There actually comes additional Phazon that this isn't immune to, so...
Yeah. I mean, they had to find some way to keep the environmental hazards, well, hazardous, so they kind of pulled that out of nowhere at the last second.
The suit only makes you immune to blue Phazon, but if you get near red Phazon, that still hurts.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's like when
What I want to know, though, is when you go inside the Phazon meteorite in Prime 3, there's no red Phazon in there, at least as far as I recall. When you go to the planet that is made of Phazon, there's no red Phazon.
It's a space pirate experiment to mix Phazon with red food coloring.
Come on,
Maybe.
you missed the perfect opportunity for Mountain Dew Code Red Phazon, Dan.
It's
Phazon Code Red.
the most deadly substance in the known universe.
I wonder if that's why the pirates are all about doing the testing, and they don't mind sacrificing people, because the stuff just tastes so dang good.
I mean, yeah, it just gets to be that worth it.
The Phazon suit only protects you from Baja Blast flavored Phazon.
Samus can't resist Code Red. That's why it hurts. She
Man,
loves it.
If they didn't do a Taco Bell promotion for this game, they were missing out. By the way, if you do decide to go back through this area, you'll notice that the enemy loadout has changed. And in fact, there are some new enemies that we're going to have to get past. But first we got to get past this door.
Okay.
Speaking of,
Having some
I guess
issues.
one benefit of the Metroid's Force Unit of Morph Ball is we get to see easily the coolest Morph Ball of them all.
Yeah. Yeah, every time you get a new suit upgrade, the Morph Ball just looks more and more awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Metroid back there, we flagged him up a little earlier, but that is a Fission Metroid, who not only has to be shot with the correct color-coded beam, but also, if
Can
left
multiply.
undefeated for too long, will multiply into multiple color-coded Metroids. So, if you got power bombs, this is the time to use them.
Yeah,
Here we
because
encounter fission Metroids, so the way you gotta fight them is don't.
Just
Yeah.
explode
much.
them.
Alright, so this is what we were talking about earlier, about, face tanking more damage. You can come and get this, this artifact that Joe is going
Oh
for.
my god. They just
so-
fill the place with rocks because they know you're gonna want to brute force it.
Well, not only that, this is also kind of a callback to, multiple spots in 2D Metroids where it's just like, alright, we're gonna have you, like, bomb through a corridor. Happens multiple times in Zero Mission, multiple times in Super.
So yeah, we did it.
That's
100%
all.
of pickups.
Nice. And you did it as soon as you got the Phazon suit.
Well, the final artifact, that is.
Yeah.
So we still have a couple.
Yeah,
like,
so we are
missiles
now
and stuff.
good to go and enter the impact crater. After a short
that
and
was just
pleasant
mean.
hike back through this quarantine cave.
Oh, I can see where you
There we
just
go.
get fed up.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm done.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have to go to the ship, or okay, I'm not gonna have to go to the ship, but I'm gonna have to go buy the ship on my way to the end game area. So like,
May as well
I'll
just
have an ammo
recharge.
refill. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Oh no, almost.
But we get more grappling hook fun along the way.
It's weird that they there's like 2 missile recharge rooms in the entire game, and they only. I assume they don't even refill your power bombs, just your missiles.
Yeah, it almost feels like they put them there.
As an
Not even as
afterthought?
an afterthought, almost just like randomly at those select few areas of the map. I guess I can understand why you'd want to have one in the Phazon mines, just because it's such a combat-heavy area. But like the one in the Chozo ruins, I have no idea why it's there.
I mean, to me, it feels like, you know, a mechanic that they were wanting to use more, but they just couldn't find any good places to put it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just like, listen, we're just gonna like keep it to the couple of places that it makes sense, and whatever reasoning they chose for the the Chozo ruin ones.
I guess because you're fighting a lot of Chozo ghosts with super missiles around there.
It's possible.
But it is still weird, though, that there's only 2 of them in the entire game.
Could that
Actually, no, I think there's one inside the impact crater, now that I think about it, but...
No, I think you're just thinking of a save room.
No, there's a save room and there's a missile recharge station.
Oh, I never used it.
I think the save room is, like, right in the entryway area.
It is.
And then on the way to the final boss, there's a missile recharge station.
It is, the one in the impact crater is one of the few that is not in it, like, its own little confined room.
Uh-huh.
Because it's just out in the entrance.
Right.
And it's actually a rather large room. I like that room a lot. For whatever reason, it's one of the rooms that just stuck with me, because it's just like, they put a save room, you know, just kind of out in the open here.
God, these fission Metroids are so annoying.
Oh, just the Metroids in general are just kind of annoying. Like, it doesn't. I don't think the Metroids translated all that well to first person. Like, I think the effect of it, like, it's really obviously very imposing whenever your entire view screen is taken up by this monstrosity. But, like, in the 2D Metroids, you know, you can maneuver around the Metroids with a lot more finesse than you can in this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it didn't exactly translate the best.
I feel like the fission Metroids in this feel like the regular Metroids in the 2D games in terms of how much of a threat they pose to you.
Yeah.
Because in the 2D games, like in this one, it's no problem to deal with most Metroids, because by the time you encounter them, you have like the tools you need to dispatch them pretty quickly. But the fission Metroids are a little bit more of like a drain on your supplies, because, you know, either you're going to try and fight them with beams, which is going to take a really long time and probably result in more than one of them spawning, or you're going to use up a power bomb on them, similar to how in the original games the only way to kill a Metroid was by freezing it with the ice beam and firing 5 missiles into it. Or 1 super missile, if you like.
God, you really have to dedicate a lot of time and energy to the fission Metroids in this one.
Yeah.
Well, if you decide to take them on. I guess the we'll get to it later. The bad thing about them later, or when you get there, is that they just keep spawning. Like.
Oh yeah. Once we get to the final endgame area, there's just like infinite fission Metroids. No matter how many you take down, they always spawn another one.
Well, right, but the benefit there is you can, you know, kill them a lot easier with the spoilers, but Phazon beam.
Mm-hmm. See, we're completely jumping the gun at this point, but my strategy for like the final platforming section on the way to the final boss is basically just to like run for the exit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mad dash.
Just it's kind of like a spiral of like an upward spiral of platforms around like a central, like a cylindrical room.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you just run right to the end, like, you might get bumped by one of them from behind, but if you just book it, you're probably not going to get caught. At least I don't tend to get caught.
I call it the Cylinder of Sorrows, the Tower of Pain.
That's right.
When we did our
the
playthrough,
pit of hate.
In one of our playthroughs in college, I got stuck there for a solid 20 minutes just trying to get on those platforms.
It can be it's one of those rooms that, like, if you don't manage to run through it properly and just, like, really smoothly, it can get really rough.
God, her suit has... I don't know if she has long legs or her suit has long legs.
Now, if you're a little spatially confused here, I went back to the Talon overworld, then to the Chozo ruins, like that half pipe with all the stone toads around it kind of area, and then went back to the Talon overworld instead of... Because if I didn't do that, I would have to go backwards through the sunken frigate. I wasn't really feeling that.
Yeah, which is another tedious set of corridors.
Mm-hmm.
You have so much health. These guys are a nuisance.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, especially
they are
like
a nuisance.
the tiny ones, like the skitters. They ain't gonna do anything to you.
Oh, those beetles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just cannon fodder at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their actual name is, but that's what I call
Yeah,
them as a kid.
they're just beetles, I think.
There's some very large beetles.
Nintendo loves its beetles, especially in the GameCube era.
Well, because presumably, you know, like, IRL beetles still exist on Talon and are just kind of around.
By the way, I didn't show it on camera, but in between recording sessions, I had a very panicked look at my list of logbook entries, and I eventually realized the one that I was missing that wasn't like an endgame boss or enemy was the gunship. Yep.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine getting 99% completion because Samus didn't scan the ship that she's been driving for years and years.
Yeah, that she owns. That looks like her freaking helmet.
I mean, presumably as
What's
the world's,
this?
as the universe's best bounty hunter, she probably is rolling in dough, so she probably could just, like, roll, you know, along in any old car. She's just like, I want a new one this week.
I would... It's, like, such good branding on her part. I would love to see her business cards. And, like, if it's her storefront, like, where people can come meet her also, like... shaped like her helmet.
It looks like this room.
Yeah.
I always thought that this room, the window in that room, at least when you enter through that door, looked like Samus's visor.
It does, yeah.
Alrighty. We're in for a good old Metroid tradition.
Uh-huh. Well, at this
we
point, I
lose
don't
our
think
powers?
it was a... I don't think it was a tradition
And
at
have
this
to
point.
recollect them.
Again.
I mean, no, technically up to this point, Ridley had been in every Metroid game.
Yeah.
Except for
Well, no, I
two.
just mean like where he kind of comes in at the last minute. It's like, I'm gonna be in this finale too.
Yeah.
Except
still
here
here.
it like makes sense because like obviously it's good that they followed up on him after showing him in the intro and kind of teasing him throughout the game. Like, okay, yeah, we finally get to fight Ridley, as opposed to Samus Returns, where it's like there's no Ridley like anywhere in that game until the very last second, where they literally, by admission of the developers, threw him in because why not?
Yeah. So canonically, and I'm pretty sure I'd have to check, because I think there's, I can't remember where it comes from, but like Ridley destroying these like pillars and towers is like actually sealing Samus off from the impact craters, but the Chozo ghost that we see up here in a little bit, do just go like, yeah, you've been doing well enough, we'll let you in anyways.
Yeah, at
like-
this point, Samus just has to be like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, well, because like the
Look at Ridley's long brain.
Yeah. He's got a crocodile brain.
Yep. Because like Ridley destroyed the power source to actually like get in there, and so like the Chozo ghosts have to come and like give power to open it.
Yeah, they make like a portal for you. I imagine. I mean, I don't know what they would have done if the artifacts had like let you in as intended, but I imagine it would be more of like a mechanical process, like another like big elevator that takes you down there.
Another loading
And then the
zone.
Chozo ghosts were like, "Listen, Samus, maybe death ain't so bad. We got all these sweet powers."
Uh huh. So, what do you guys think of the Meta Ridley boss fight?
They open a
Because
portal
I
to send
always
you
thought
to the
this.
ghost realm. They have the Danny Phantom ghost machine.
I always thought this was a really good boss fight.
It's a really great spectacle too. Like I love how far away from you he gets. Like there's not really any other spaces in this game that feel like this massive, and yet he just like covers it so quickly.
I like that they increase his arsenal of things he can shoot at you, other than just fireballs.
Okay, so I see that you're not going for the. If you drop a power bomb onto him here, you could have immediately destroyed his wings.
See, I tried the power bomb once, and it just completely dissuaded me from using it on any other boss type enemies.
Yeah, I
can I
used it on
say?
a mini boss once, and then I just decided it was not worth it. I love it.
He's saving the power bombs for a much more important use later on.
Yeah. I will say
true.
They're not wrong.
there is at least one phase of this fight that's very frustrating. We have yet to see it. But the melee stage near the end where he's just constantly, like, brushing you,
Yeah.
that is the only complaint I have about this fight.
Betrayed really wasn't in melee. He was too big.
That's right. He took up almost the entire game right here.
See, that's why they had to compress all of the FMVs for the trilogy version, because Ridley was so big.
He
It took up
all
so
the
much
file
space on the Wii disc.
He's too big for the GameCube.
I love the little
They had to ship Metroid Prime with a little Animal Crossing memory card with like Ridley's face on it
I'm in here, trust me.
for
no,
extra Ridley
it's like
storage.
It's like Resident Evil 4 or Twin Snakes, where it's like a two-disc game, but you don't have to insert the second disc until the boss fight with Ridley.
Yes.
So, for those of you who are confused at why Joe keeps taking damage when there's no visible attack, Ridley is also dropping bombs as he flies
Yeah.
overhead. He doesn't always shoot the lasers.
Wow, that was pathetic.
Wait, he's halfway down. Oh, you have to like completely annihilate this stage, don't you?
Yes.
No, once you get him to like
really?
2/3 of his health, or like a quarter of his health, he goes into his like melee focused mode,
Okay.
Yeah.
where he's grounded.
And even that
Grounded,
stage has two
grounded,
forms.
grounded.
Yeah, we took away his wings, and we're not going to give them back to him until he thinks about what he did.
How dare you clip the wings of my precious dad's bird Pokemon? Oh.
I just
What are you
want to
doing here?
imagine Ridley like is a Pokemon.
I mean, he's kind of like you know what he's like? He's like Evital.
No, I'm saying like not even like being like a Pokemon. Like he just is a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like
Pretty
listen,
funny to be fighting like youngster Joey or something, and all of a sudden, go Ridley!
yeah, he's another legendary bird.
Just eviscerates your Chikorita.
Well, we can just take Moltres out and put Ridley in there. Moltres is already pretty useless.
So this is where the first phase of the fight ends, and it really is like a first half and a second half, because it's a lot easier to deal damage to him during that first part. Because during the second part, you first have to make him vulnerable by shooting him while his mouth is open, and if you do that enough times, it'll reveal his little like heart area.
So, I do want to call back to one of the first episodes that we have recorded for this, and I'm kind of still. You've proven that you know how to do the rapid fire missiles, but any of the times that it would be like exceedingly useful, you haven't used it.
Well, it's just so we can listen to this awesome rendition of the Ridley boss theme again.
Yeah.
Did they
Yep, that's
add the
pretty
ground
true.
pound?
No, I think that was always in.
I like his
Weird.
fire feet.
You were just too close to him to notice the animation.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, plus also, like I said, if you know, he was doing the ground pound a couple of times during the flight segment. Like, if you just drop a power bomb under him there, like, you'll still only see his ground pound once, and then I think there's a way to basically prevent him from doing the ground pound here, but I'm not sure. Because like
Now, this attack here, when he's rearing back, that's kind of a risky time to shoot him, because if you miss the timing on shooting into his mouth, which is actually pretty tight,
Yeah.
he just charges right into you, and that's what's really going to drain your health in this fight, is when he actually like makes contact with you. Because like the first part, you know, he might get some chip damage in with his laser or his bombs at some point, but this is where you're really going to start losing energy tanks if you're not, you know, keeping the heat on him at the right times.
The heat on him as he used the plasma pistol thing.
Hey man, the jokes write themselves.
God, his health just goes down like a pixel per shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the while Joe's missiles are sitting topped off at 250.
I know. Hey man, I'm gonna need those missiles for the wave buster.
That's right.
I mean, you're not going to use the flamethrower on the final boss?
You know what? I don't remember if I used the flamethrower, but I'm erring on the side of no, just based on my
I mean, the
my
thing
experience
is,
with it.
like for Metroid Prime, when she's in her plasma vulnerability mode, the flamethrower doesn't even really have enough range to properly reach the weak point.
It doesn't.
God, he is losing, like, no health.
I know.
Because
Good
you
God.
are supposed to be using missiles at this point.
Yeah.
Well, but I feel like you only have time to, like, pop off one missile.
It's super missiles, for the record.
Well, even then, like, I feel like it takes so long to charge one super missile that he would, lose his vulnerability before you even launch the thing.
It's a tight timing, but you can do it.
As someone who's
So-
recently played this game on hard mode, I made sure to use super missiles at every opportunity because I didn't want this fight to last so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the longer it lasts, the more opportunities he has to damage you.
Yeah.
Like, and there's
Stating the blatantly obvious.
and like, obviously you're trying to like kind of optimize your overall route here, where it's just like, yeah, I don't want to use too much resources for one fight. Like, the boss fights were also kind of designed for, like, you use all of your resources, like, here and now, and then if you need to recharge...
Run.
And then you go back to the ship and recharge.
Yeah. But, I mean, you killed them all the same. Oh, also, I do like...
God is angry.
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh my God, it's even the same shot.
That's awesome.
Also, I love that Ridley
You
has
go
this
down
big...
and there's a Ridley-shaped hole
That's
in the
amazing.
ground with like a giant boulder on it.
That is the funniest shit.
Just like a space pirate trying to push it off.
I'll get you
I never
next
noticed
time,
that before,
Samus.
but that is like 1-to-1 the ending of Banjo-Kazooie.
See, this has been a comedy game the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember from Prime Pinball, but I think Prime Pinball, you actually used, like, the actual, like, pillar itself to teleport into the impact crater, so it is slightly, different.
They didn't have the technology on the DS to have Ridley smush it.
Probably.
Yeah, well, with Ridley behind us, there's only one more boss to take down, so join us for the final episode of Metroid Prime, where we fight.
Ridley 2.
Don't listen to Dan, kids. It's Metroid Prime time. See you next time. Thanks for watching.